Good morning, everybody. How are you all? Hope you are fine. Once again, welcome to class 10th English. Have you done your homework? The question answers of the chapter number 6, which I gave you in the previous classes. Yes, then well and good. If not, then complete it with the word meanings. And I hope you are reading the chapter also, whatever was taught to you. As you know, reading is very important, so keep reading. So we are reading chapter number 6, that is the 100 Dresses, part 2. Part 1 was chapter number 5, that was already completed. And this chapter is going to be completed today itself. Everybody knows the story of a cotton? Yes, you know. So before starting today's session, I would just like to give you a brief summary to make you understand today's class. This chapter is about Wanda Petronsky, who was Polish and was bullied by a girl, Peggy, from this school, along with her friend Maddie. And Maddie was really upset for the behavior of Peggy, and they both wanted to ask sorry to girl. For asking sorry, they both visited to the residence, the former residence of our Wanda Petronsky in Bogan Heights, where they were not able to find her. And afterwards, they wrote a letter to her for they wanted to write a letter of apology, but that turned out to be the letter of friendship. They did not ask for sorry or something else, and they just wrote the letter and waiting for a reply from her. But days passed. Now I am going to continue what happened in the chapter. We have discussed a lot in the previous class, and you have got the lectures also. You can see from that. Let me continue from page number 77, para number 2nd. I know I have read this, but I would continue from here itself to make you understand it more clearly. Days passed and there was no answer. But the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Days passed and no answer. No answer means maybe the letter was not reached to his real place where she was staying. Or maybe the letter reached, but she did not want to answer. She was very angry. She was very much hurt. So it was just a thinking, assumption. Weeks went by, and still Wanda did not answer. Time was passing, and weeks went by. Still there was no answer from Wanda. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with. Now Peggy, she just started forgetting about everything, about Maddie or about the business, whatever had happened earlier. And Maddie, who was not able to sleep earlier because of thinking a lot about Wanda, now she started writing speeches about Wanda, defending her. Now, if the same thing happens again, what will she do? She started writing the speeches. Okay, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her. She used to write the speeches to protest, to stop those girls who used to tease her. How many dresses have you got? The girls used to ask. And before Wanda could press her lips together in a tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop." Now in her speeches, she did not let Wanda answer those silly questions. Before she spoke by pressing her lips, our Maddie used to answer used to ask those girls to stop. Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. And in this manner, everybody would feel ashamed, same as she was feeling for Vanda. Now, it was Christmas time, and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school, before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. Now it was Christmas time, and the snow was all over there on the ground. Christmas bells were ringing, small tree were decorated in the classroom, and the last day of school before the holidays. The teacher showed a letter to the class which she received that morning. Now the teacher was showing a letter to the class and telling, you remember Vanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me, and I am glad to know where she lives, because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. She just read the letter in front of the class, in which she, before reading, she asked that she did not read the letter, she was talking to the class. That did the class still remember Vanda Petronsky or not? The girl who was a gifted artist and who really won the drawing contest. Now the teacher added further that she was really glad to have the address, because in this manner she could easily send the medals which she won in the drawing contest to her. Okay? And she also wanted to read the letter to the whole class. And the class was very much interested in listening to the letter and looking at the teacher intently. Dear Miss Mason. Miss Mason was the name of the teacher, remember? How are you? And room 13. Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses, because in my new house I have 100 new ones, all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one for Christmas. I miss that school, and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Now, yours truly, Vanda Petronsky. Now, what she has written in the letter? She asked about the teachers and the room 13, and she asked the teacher to tell the girls to keep all the 100 dresses which she made, because she already had more 100 dresses in her new house, all lined up in the closet. She wanted Peggy to keep the drawing of the green dress with red trimming and Maddie the blue one as the Christmas gift. She gifted those two paintings and drawings to Peggy and Maddie. And she added further that she missed the school and teacher too, because the teacher was not like Miss Mason. This was the letter about. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. Now they both were going to home and they were having the drawings in their hands, the gift by Vanda Petronsky. Right? All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. All the houses were decorated with these things, wreaths and holly in the window, because the Christmas approaching. Outside the grocery store, Hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks, and cornucopias of shiny transparent paper was strung. The air smelled like Christmas, and lights shining everywhere reflected different colors in the snow. All the markets were decorated, houses were decorated with, okay, and the grocery stores, there were hundreds of Christmas trees, they were all standing together. And in the windows, they can see the candy, peppermint sticks, and cornucopias, that is, decorative containers full of flowers and fruits, okay, with shiny transparent paper. They were string. In the air, there was a smell of Christmas that was smelling. Christmas fragrance was there, and light was shining everywhere. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right. And that is that. Now, Peggy was telling Maddie that they got the gift from Vanda Petronsky, and that showed that that girl liked these two, Maddie and Peggy, right? And she really say that she liked them by gifting the dresses, paintings to her. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little, tight-lipped, polished girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. Maddie was very sad. She said, yeah, she hoped so. She felt very upset because she knew she was not able to see that girl again, Vanda again, who was a little polished girl, and she could never ask her sorry. She could never apologize in front of her, and everything would not be all right together. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper. She went home, she pinned the drawing on a torn place, pink flowered wallpaper, in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the color. The room was not so bright, so beautiful. It was kind of shabby. But when she pinned the drawing there, and because of that color, the color, brilliancy of the color, the room came alive because the colors were very brilliant. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She sat down at her bed and looking at the drawing. She stood by and said nothing. But Vanda had been nice to her anyway. She remembered Peggy was the only girl who used to tease her. She just stood nearby and said nothing, never teased her, but not helped her, not stood with her. But Vanda had been nice to her. But Vanda, she did not bother, she did not mind. She was really nice to her. She gifted her a very good painting anyway. Tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Now she was crying very badly and gazing at the picture for a long time. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. Then, in a hurry, she just rubbed her eyes and studied it intently, that picture. She noticed something. She studied something deeply. The colors in the dress were so vivid. They were very brilliant colors. Different colors were used that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing. Because of the colors, because of the painting, she was not able to notice the face and the head of the drawing earlier. But when she looked at intently, she studied that intently, but it looked like her. Maddie, it really looked like her own mouth. The face and the head and the mouth were like her. Why? It really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. It was her own picture. That girl who was wearing that dress in the drawing was nobody else. It was herself. And Wanda had really drawn that painting for her only. Excitedly, she was full of excitement. She ran over to Peggy's. She ran to Peggy's house. Peg, she said, let me see your picture. She asked Peggy to see the picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy. She wanted to know what happened. As they clattered up to her room, what's the matter? Asked Peggy. As they clattered up to her room, as they were walking to her room upstairs, Peggy asked her what happened. Where is Vanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed. In the bedroom of, maybe it was a bedroom of Peggy, where Vanda's drawing was lying on the bed upside down. Maddie carefully raised it. She just raised the painting up. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the hand and face of this picture did look like Peggy. She lifted the picture and showed her that she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and face of that picture look like our Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Peggy said she had nothing to say anything. Definitely Wanda liked her and Maddie. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie. She blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. Now Maddie got emotional. She blinked away the tears. Now her eyes were full of tears. She just blinked away the tears. Whenever she thought of Wanda, she always thought about Wanda. She was standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, in the school courtyard, in the sunny weather, under the sun, looking stolidly to the group of the laughing girls who used to laugh at her, asking how many dresses you have. She used to reply 100 dresses, and after that she used to walk off. Maddie was recalling each and everything about Wanda, how they used to tease her, how she used to reply, and her eyes were full of tears. She was really getting very emotional that she never hated these girls, and she really painted their own face in the drawings, and she gifted the paintings whom they used to bully. She really gifted, and now she was a changed girl. Now maybe she would stand for these weak students who were bullied by the strong ones, right? These are the questions now. Oral comprehension check. You know it, for your homework. All 3 questions are your homework questions, along with the word meanings of the chapter and other questions also. I want you to read this chapter once again, and in the doubt class, there will be a doubt class of yours on Friday. Alright, you can ask me the doubts in the doubt class. I am not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. I am not winding it right now. I am going to discuss the question answers, tell you some answers. You can do it yourself. We'll discuss all the questions. I'll give you more homework questions. Wait a while. First question. After asking question, I'll wait a while. I will not have the answers from you, but I will let you to think to find the answers. What did the girls write to Wanda? Think yourself. Yeah, the answer is on page number 77, first para, you can find it. They told her how pretty her drawings were. They asked her if she liked where she was living, if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry. Till here only. They told her how pretty till the new teacher. Right? I hope you have got it. Did they get a reply? Who was more anxious for a reply, Peggy or Maddie? They did not get the reply, but the letter was to Miss Mason. Who was more anxious for a reply? Maddie. How do you know? Because she was thinking a lot about Vanda Petronsky. She was writing the speeches for her. She was not able to sleep. She was quite anxious to talk to ask sorry to the girl Vanda. How did the girls know that Vanda liked them even though they had teased her? Yes. Because Vanda Petronsky gifted them the dress. First thing. Getting it? And in the drawings which were gifted to them, their own faces, got it now? These 3 questions are your homework questions. Let me have some more questions to discuss. Question number 1. Why do you think Vanda's family moved to a different city? Do you think life there was going to be different for their family? Simple answer, the answer which needs your thinking. Because the children were not treated properly in the school because of their names, they were bullied, they were teased by their class fellows, and they moved to a new city because they moved to a big city where there would be more people like them with these kinds of different names, where they could not be bullied, they would not be mocked there. The life could be different because in the big cities nobody has time to know about the different people, to the other people. So it's on you. Think more about this. Maddie thought her silence was as bad as Peggy's teasing. Was she right? What do you say? Yes, her silence was as bad as Peggy's teasing. Because if you are watching a crime without saying anything, you're also the part of that crime. Right? She was also the part of the crime. Whether she did not tease Vanda, only Peggy was teasing. She was standing there beside her. She was standing silently, letting her tease. She never ever tried to stop her. Right? So her silence was also as bad as Peggy's teasing. She was right here. Peggy says, I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb and gee. Look how she can draw. What led Peggy to believe that Vanda was dumb? Did she change her opinion later? Because she never used to speak a lot, she was not talkative, she never ever talked to the other students. Whenever the question was asked to her, she always used to reply that she had 100 dresses all lined up in the closet. She had never ever showed different sort of behavior. That's made her thought maybe that is the reason she thought that she was a dumb girl. Did she change her opinion later? Yes, she changed her opinion later. Afterwards, when she won the drawing contest and when Peggy saw that she had made 100 paintings, 100 drawings of different color, different dresses, She really appreciated, she thought that she fooled them, and she was not a dumb girl, she was very intelligent. What important decision did Maddie make? That she would not let anybody else be bullied in her school. She would not be accompanied. Why did she have to think hard to do so? Because she did not take any stand for Peggy, for Wanda Petronsky, who was teased by her own friend Peggy. She wanted to help her because she thought that that was her turn. Her now the next could be she herself. Right? So you need to think about that. Why do you think Wanda gave Maddie and Peggy the drawings of the dresses? Why are they surprised? Tell me. Maybe she liked them. Maybe she wanted them, that however bad they were, but she never ever thought bad about them, ill about them. Why are they surprised? Because the faces were of them only. She drew them, right? Do you think Wanda really thought the girls were teasing her? Why or why not? Yes, she thought. That's why she used to reply in a satire. Now these are some questions. 6 questions we have discussed. Now I want you to do some questions in your homework. Do first, second and third of page number 79, thinking about the text. Question number 1, 2 and 3 are the homework questions, along with the oral comprehension check. Remaining questions I will send you the group with the answers. I hope you have understood the chapter. Nothing is left to understand. Everything is clear. No doubts are left. If you are still facing any problem, you are not able to understand any chapter, you can ask me. Okay? Till that, goodbye. I would like to wind up here. Bye bye. Take care.